not getting beat up right now. Alright guys, we have a right hook Roxy. She just got finished sparring with Alycia Baumgardner. You got anything you just want to kind of touch on? Like, how was it for you? Just like,
you know, this is a good experience for me. She's a champ. You know, she's been in there with the big dogs. I have respect for her. This is very good world-class sparring for me. You know, especially coming from the amateurs with a lot of experience and going into the pros. She definitely helps with my pro style. She's very smart, ring IQ. So I think this is the best type of sparring I can get.
Yeah. So tell me about that amateur experience. You said you had like over 100 fights. So just kind of walk me through that.
So yeah, I have 108 amateur fights, 101 wins. I have 21 national championships, 3 international gold medals, one of them being a world championship gold medal at the youth world championships. I was ranked #1 for many, many years, and now I just turned pro last year in October. 1 fight, that's it. My next fight should be coming up soon.
That's a really, really impressive resume. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've met a lot of people. Very rarely do they say I have 108 fights and 100 wins. That's very uncommon. So, very interesting stuff. So, one of the things I do want to touch on, I saw you when you were sparring Alycia. You had power. Like some of your shots, particularly off the right hand, you had some real power. So that's not something I see too often when it comes to like female competitors. How did you develop that power? What did you do to kind of?
I would say it's the sangre mexicana. Just kidding. No, you know, since a young age, my mom has always taught me. My mother is my trainer, by the way. You know, so she's taught me. I've been fighting 18 years. I learned how to adjust from the amateurs to the pros. Amateurs, it was just pity pat, points, points, points. As a pro, you kind of have to sit down on your punches. And as a lefty, a lot of people have difficulty fighting lefties because there's not that many. I mean, now I've been noticing a lot of women that are southpaws, but for the most part, it's always about the angles, sitting on my punches, eating your protein. So I would say that, and becoming a woman. You know, I'm getting my woman's strength now.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
22?
Yes.
You're young. Alright, so the next thing I want to touch on for sure is you mentioned you have a fight coming up.
Yes.
And you mentioned that you're cutting weight and everything else. Like, tell me about that experience. What are you doing to cut weight? Is there something you can kind of maybe pass on to other people that will help them?
You know, stay hydrated. A lot of people make the mistake of becoming dehydrated way before their camp. So I fight next week on TCL, so it's not my main pro fight. It's only 1 round, but I do have to cut down to 126. So right now I've been dropping. It's my last day of sparring, to be honest. But I would say stay on your protein. The carbs, not so many, you know. Drink a lot of water. You don't want to cut down on your water. That people make the mistake. They become dehydrated, become weak. You know, your greens. I'm not eating late at night. I'm keeping a schedule. I'm maintaining my schedule. And this Vegas heat is helping a lot because I'm originally from Los Angeles. So this heat, I'm not used to this.
Yeah. Another thing that comes to my mind, right hook Roxy. Where'd you get the name? How did it start? Did you knock somebody out with the right hook and they were like, right hook Roxy? Like, what happened?
Yes, I've dropped a few of my opponents with my right hook as a lefty. You know, my right hook is a very powerful key to my boxing and my jab because people don't really expect it. And my name's Iyana Roxanie together, so Roxy, that's where I've always been called Roxy my whole life. A lot of people don't know my name is Iyana. Iyana Roxanie, yeah. So I've had that right hook since the day I was born, to be honest. That's been my power punch. That's,
brothers growing up?
You know, I'm kind of like 3 kids in one, my mom used to say, because I was crazy. I had ADHD. I was all over the place, so boxing kind of kept me. I'm a 4th generation fighter. My aunt, my uncles, they were wrestlers, kickboxers. Okay. My uncle was an undefeated kickboxer. Now it's just me, you know, but I have 2 older brothers in Mexico and then my older sister, but they all have families. I'm the only one continuing boxing.
One of the things that I hear a lot in like female competition, they'll say there's not a lot of money in the pros when it comes to women in their sports.
Yep.
However, you can make a lot more money on the amateur side by getting endorsed by, I don't know, like Adams, Everlast, whatever, right?
You see,
what's your thought on that?
I don't think that's true. I mean, I get the pay range from a male's to a woman's purse in the fight. It is a lot different, but they don't realize women have the power of making money outside of boxing as a pro, because in amateur you're signed with contracts with USA Boxing for the most part, some people. But you can make a lot of money from social media to wearing a pair of shorts. Yeah, like I'm sponsored by OnlyFans, so
no way.
Yeah. So, you know.
How did you get a sponsor besides having one? How did
No,
you
well, see, people think OnlyFans is a platform, you know, just nudity and things like that.
Reasonably so.
Reasonably so, yes, they've done that, but they're trying to be more mainstream. They're sponsoring a lot of athletes, motorcycle racers, F1 racers. If you notice, they are. Yes, they're sponsoring a lot of athletes. So, you know, I'm not posting nudity or anything like that, so don't get excited.
It's a wholesome page.
It's a wholesome page, you know.
Stuff.
You get to see behind the scenes of my training, my workouts, what I'm doing, what I'm eating, my everyday life.
So,
you know, it's just a platform where, yes, it's kind of like exclusive though, only for my subscribers, and I get to talk one-on-one with my people that do subscribe to me. So
do you actually talk to them? You got some paid to do the chatting?
Yeah, they pay to chat with me, or I can have a one-on-one live with them. So it's more interacting. People have asked me for workouts. They have asked me for advice. So they're trying to change the aspect and the perspective of it, which they've been doing. They've been doing very good. So yeah, like I said, you can make money outside of boxing. Like all these, there's big companies willing to sponsor women. If you're pretty, you know how to talk, you know how to fight, you're gonna make money. So I disagree to agree. You know, I agree to disagree.
So basically, if you want to be a pro, it's a lot easier to transition if you have the looks and you're able to leverage business.
Yes, and I speak English and Spanish, so you know that helps a lot too. Whatever, but for the most part, as a woman, men don't get as many sponsors as I would say women do, because we are women at the end of the day. You know, and you want to use that to your advantage. Yes, the equal rights with the pay of inside the ring, I get that, but once you start making a name for yourself, if you notice, a lot of fighters now, they don't have an amateur background, but because of their social media following, they're on the big platform. So it's all about your social media now. Things have changed. Oh wow, can't complain about it. Just hop on the boat like everybody else. So what I would like to say to other female athletes, don't get discouraged. You know, men are gonna be like, oh, you know, this is a man's sport. This is not a man's sport. You know, women, they're making a name for themselves. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay away from the boys. They will ruin your life. So
the boys will ruin
your ruin your career. If they're not 100 with you, they will ruin it. They want you to start families very young. You know, I'm 22. People are already asking to marry. I said, no, thank you. But I would say focus. You know, focus on, if it's something you don't want to do, don't force yourself to do it because you can get hurt. It's a very serious sport. You know, stay disciplined, honestly, and keep working hard. Keep doing what you're doing. Work on your skills. Travel more. Get that amateur experience. Then turn pro. Don't try to jump the gun.
The one thing that you touched on earlier when you said, as an amateur, you know, don't jump the gun. Go ahead and, you know, live out that time as an amateur. Well, one of the things I've heard a lot from a lot of people is that, hey, you know, the amateur's not really working out for me. Like, they don't really judge my fights the way that I think they should be judged. You know, I'm losing fights that I clearly won.
Yeah.
And you're saying, like, take more time. So for the people that are like, I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and turn pro because I'm tired of, you know, just messing up my record when I don't even feel like I'm losing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you say to them?
See, honestly, your amateur record does not matter like it used to back in the days. It does not matter. People have 100 losses and 1 win and they're turning pro and they're doing great. I hope not, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had very bad politics when I was an amateur. I've lost fights that I shouldn't have lost. To be fair, those 7 losses that I have, 3 of them were not losses. So, and they killed my dreams. The amateurs killed my dreams. I wanted to go to the Olympics. Everything was ruined because of politics, you know, and it hurt me, so I did turn pro, but I was ready to turn pro. I already had 100 fights under my belt. I was ready. It doesn't mean you need to win national competitions to turn pro, but get that experience, because when you're in the pros, it's a different story. You have 8-ounce gloves, no headgear, you can get hurt. But if you're ready, you're ready. If you know you're ready and you've been in the gym for a long time, jump in there, go ahead. But make sure they build you right. Build you with the right people. They make you fight the right people. But overall, you know, I had politics too, but I cried about it, but I got over it because the amateurs, it does not matter. The amateurs, your record does not matter when you turn pro. I used to think that back then. People did, you know, they would look at your record when you were a kid, but now with social media, anybody can be pro. So your record doesn't matter, win or lose. It's not going to affect you. It's not going to make you money. So
yeah, let's talk politics, because I hear that a lot too. I hear a lot about behind the scenes, you know, amateur boxing shenanigans. And without me giving you any leading questions, what do you mean by politics? What did you experience?
So when it comes to politics, it means them robbing your fight without a gun. You know, they have favorites. They can either be from the same state as you or the same city, or they favor that fighter. because of me, I was very young when I went to the trials. I was just 18, and they would tell me, oh, you know, we kind of want you for the next one, you're really young. But I'm so young, but I was winning gold medal for you guys, so why does that even matter? And I felt like they wanted to hold me back to the next one. You know, they pick and choose who they want. It's not like, you know, the whole thing where pros can go to the amateurs now and fight in the Olympics. Yeah, for other countries they can, but here in the US, they're picky. They're selective who they want to bring, you know, and it was really unfair to me. So the politics do come from the judging, from the committees, you know. I mean, I thank USA Boxing for all the time I did have with them, but there is some people that need to kick the boot and go, because it's really unfair to these kids that are working hard, sweating, and they lose to a judge, not the actual fight. And then the other kid gets big-headed and their coaches get big-headed when that's not how it should be. It should be good sportsmanship, you know, and they should base it fair. It happens in the pros too. There's so many politics, but you kind of just have to be on the good side. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Sometimes people get picked over other people, right? And then maybe you might have been more qualified for the Olympics, but somebody who might just be a little bit more favorable, a little less tattoos or whatever, is the one that gets picked up.
You know, that's the funny thing. I ain't got no tattoos.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Like, you don't, I mean, you look like...
I was young. I was very young. The girls that I was probably going to be fighting were going to be in their 30s, but that didn't matter to me. I was already sparring grown women at the age of 15, so it doesn't matter to me, but again, it's who they wanted at the end of the day, so.
Yeah. Before we wrap this up, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you on social media, when your next fight is going to be, and just everything else that they can find out about you.
So, my name is Iyana Roxanie, also known as Right Hook Roxy. You can follow me at Right Hook Roxy on Instagram. And my next fight is next week on TCL, Team Combat League, but I'm fighting against Atlanta. But my main fight will be July 26th at the Commerce Casino on the UFC Fight Pass. So don't forget to tune in and follow me at Right Hook Roxy. Thanks for watching.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.